Good morning.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Garden of Whedon. Today we're going to do a little bit of walkthrough. I guess we'll start here with my little seedlings. I have an inside garden that I start everything in and then I bring everything kind of out, or if I have ordered something then I put it inside first under an artificial light and then I slowly bring it out because I do have kind of extreme temperatures here where I'm located. In this seedling garden we have ground cherries or golden berries, Chinese lanterns. There's like several different names for them. They're these beautiful golden berries, and the flower that produces them is absolutely amazing. They're in the tomatillo family. And Bill and I discovered them at Trader Joe's, and so then of course I had to, because I love them, grow them myself. And for the record, I did take a golden berry from the Trader Joe's. I fermented it in my window and then I put it in the fridge and then I put it in some soil and it did produce seeds, so you can actually grow them from the fruits that you get at the Trader Joe's. I also have coffee, I have a banana, I have patchouli, I have the black wolfberry or black goji berry. I have 2 Carolina Reaper peppers, and 1 bonus banana. Oh, and dill in there, and several tomatoes. So I also have on the patio garden, this is the tarragon, and then I have some indigo rose tomatoes that are starting to pop up right there, and then I also have lemon verbena, and then I have citronella on the patio to keep the mosquitoes at bay. So I guess we'll start maybe this way with the fluffy butt hut. This is my chickens' feeding garden. This is what they eat. There's chocolate mint in here. There's oxalis. There's violets, cilantro, or excuse me, 2 different kinds of parsley. I've got thyme and lemon balm. I have a poppy and then spinach and mint. And they come out of their coop and then they go immediately graze. And then here's the fluffy butt hut and my little baby chickens. This is my first year with chickens. And I can honestly say that chicken obsession does actually happen. I spend hours every day just watching chicken TV. So, it is the most amazing experience that I have. I never thought I could fall in love with birds, or chickens, but I certainly have. Around my chicken coop, I have citronella. You can see these little sprouts right here. Those are actually Virginia peanuts. They're a vine base and they grow the fruits underneath. So I figured, as long as they get big enough, the chickens can eat the leaves or whatever. And then at the end of the season, I'll go ahead and pick the peanuts. I also have hibiscus, and this is the one that you make fruits and teas and dry. In this garden bed, I have eggplant, great stuffed pepper, shallots, another Carolina Reaper. This is goji. This is a red goji right here. It will get big. They will be big bushes, but it'll take a couple years. That is a tomato. I believe that's Mr. Stripey, which is an heirloom tomato. It's yellow and red and big and beautiful and unbelievable. I have Malabar spinach in both red and green. Those are the same but different. And then I've just noticed that my Tropicanas are starting to pop up. That's essentially a flower. It's going to be this big, beautiful yellow colored flower, and sometimes they're red. So I don't know which one those are because I got a mix box. So we'll see what happens. I have more peanuts. I have more tomatoes and more spinach along the backside of the chicken coop. I have all red and yellow onions in the front. On this side, I can see that all of my watermelon are starting to shoot up. I, of course, have more lettuce. I have more tomatoes and lettuce. These beautiful flowers over here are actually radishes. And I grow radishes because I love the flavor of radish. But I've learned so many different things. Like I love to pickle them. I love to roast them. They are fantastic roasted with some paprika. But spinach or radishes actually produce a pea. Oh, here's a perfect example of one right here. This is a seed pod. It's a fresh seed pod. And this fresh seed pod looks and tastes, or has the texture of a pea, but tastes like a radish. So then you just, and it's delicious. It's a delicacy. A lot of people just grow radishes for the root itself, but the pea is fantastic as well. Back here along this wall, you can see I have passion fruits, and I finally am starting to get flowers on them, which means I will have fruit this year. Those are the Fredericksburgs. In this garden, I have a combination of all kinds of stuff. I did root vegetables because it would take longer for them to produce the roots. And then on top of that, I did lettuce, and you can see that the lettuce is kind of bolting here. So now that it's bolting, it's sour. I won't eat it, but my chickens love it. I come in, I just pull it out, and I feed it to the chickens. You can see I've taken out whole sections. Back there, you can see one of my banana plants. I've got some more Tropicana. I've got amaryllis coming up. I have some roses. So I kind of layer my garden so that as one thing dies back or becomes unviable, at that point, then you can have another thing that's already coming up underneath it, so there's no time in between. You have a full production, and that you plant companions so that they don't hurt the soil, and you're not having to fertilize less. But I use compost, so I just throw the compost back in, and essentially my chicken poo is now going in the compost pile, so they're eating the lettuce, and it's just one huge cycle, or perpetual cycle, whatever you want to call it. I also have in this garden white birds of paradise or Thai ginger, 2 kinds of bananas, beets, parsnips, lavender, and there's a couple of other things sesame. This right here is actually not a radish. This is sesame seed, and you can eat them when they're like this, the seed pods, just like a pea. And again, it tastes like sesame and not radish or pea, but sesame, and they're very delicious. Or you can let them dry out and then harvest the seeds, which is what you have when you have sesame seed or sesame oil. In this garden underneath the Valencia orange, I have English lavender, which is amazing, great for making lotions. It's a great pest repellent, all kinds of things that you can do with the lavender. I have mustard, I have lemon balm, I have cilantro, I have 3 pepper plants, I have monstera, I have regular birds of paradise. Back down here I have these 2 little bushes which are actually melaleuca. I have kale, I have chard that are almost, I see that look what the chickens did here to this kale, this chard plant, dead. They took up every single last piece of that green on that. That was completely covered yesterday. So then we also have more citronella just to keep the mosquitoes. We have a mosquito problem here in Bakersfield, and it's an issue. So I try to keep as much mosquito repellents around the yard as possible. So if we keep moving here, we've got in this garden bed, this is like not an important one, but down here we've got romaine lettuce, we've got a baby artichoke, and then the littlest artichoke you've ever seen. There is a little tomato plant back there, and then I've just got some flowers and stuff I planted in the area. Now along this wall, I have all kinds of stuff. So it's a kind of a plethora, but this is like my sun garden. I've also planted several fruit trees. I have a fig here, I have a peach and an avocado, which it's called espalier, where you bend the tree to go in the direction that you want it to go. So I have not been able to do it to the fig tree because it's not big enough. The peach tree is big enough this year. However, it has fruit on it right now, so I can't bend it. But I have already bent my avocado tree, so we'll show you that here in a little bit. But along this wall, you'll see the fig tree first. And then we've got onions, radishes galore, more artichokes, which I'm letting go to seed. Society's garlic, eggplant. I've got a couple of tomato plants back here. Again, here's some more radish peas. I love these things. These are fantastic. pansies, I've got watermelons coming up down here, and then I've got what I call weed tomatoes, tomatoes that I didn't plant that are coming up. I also have sunflowers that are starting to bloom. And then here's my big peach tree. Looking super good today. I just propped it back up. It had kind of it was leaning forward. But I noticed that finally I've got one of my asparagus that came to life. So we've got asparagus underneath this one and strawberries. Next here we've got corn. And I got one random onion that's in there, and then sage, and the sage is unreal. We cooked with it the other day. We made steaks, I think, and everybody just loved that. So gotta love that. And then this week I'll be making that hit pasta where you do the feta cheese and the cherry tomatoes, and you roast it in the oven with garlic and olive oil, and then you add pasta in afterwards with these lovely sun gold tomatoes. And then we've got the strawberries, and here we go on the avocado tree. So if you look here, you can see that I have tied this tree because I don't want it to grow up. I want it to grow along this metal fence pole, so that way the tree only gets a certain height. It'll cover this brick wall because the branches will grow out, but it won't grow high. It won't grow into these power lines because it's not going to have the option to. I'm going to have the top grow along the fence line and then eventually cut it off so it looks more like a bush than a tree. Cats decided to knock that over. So over here we have more radishes. I have a zucchini plant coming in right here. We've got an early girl tomato with huge tomatoes on it already. And you can see in the soil around, do you see how there's that brown, there's black soil that I've added, but then there's just a brown. Listen, if you have coffee grounds, take those coffee grounds. You don't have to do anything, nothing. Just take them from your coffee pot and take that little filter and empty it right on top of those, and that will provide nitrogen to your tomatoes all year long, and you will be so happy with the production that you get. And if you're drinking coffee already, don't throw that stuff in the garbage. Throw that in your garden. That is what you need, literally, in order for your garden to be bountiful. So stop wasting your grounds. Put them in your garden. I've got another tomato back here. I've got tons and tons and tons of peas from the radishes. So these radishes will actually reseed themselves, and I won't have to plant radishes again because I buy only heirloom seeds. When you buy hybrids, you do not get what you essentially, from the seed, you don't get what you bought. You get something else because it's a hybrid, it's not the same. But if you buy heirloom, that means when you take the seeds out of it, you can plant that directly into the ground and get that same exact fruit or vegetable that you had. So that's why I buy heirloom, so that I don't have to continue to buy seeds. I have another huge artichoke bush. This one probably gave me 25 or 30 artichokes this year. Down here with my little ants, which Felipe gave us this year. I love, they're hilarious. There's another gooseberry bush. Some strawberries, some dianthus. I think those little flowers are called dianthus. So, then as we move along, there's not really much here other than the pool and the walkway. So as we move into this garden, please do not judge me for my weeds. I'm a little behind on the weeding. So in this garden, I have lettuce that's going to seed. I like lettuce to go to seed so I don't have to replant it, like I said, with the heirlooms. I have some onions. This is San Pedro cactus. My rose bush that needs a trim. This is where my irises are. I have the hollyhocks, which are really starting to come into themselves this year. These will get to probably be 14 feet tall. It's unreal how big these things get. More lettuce, some weeds. Yeah, but you can see this lettuce is about to go to seed. It's kind of like a dandelion. And then you just take it and shake it all over your yard and you're good. So in this garden, I have lots of stuff. This is a huge oregano bush. And this is the Italian oregano. On the other side, I have Greek oregano. That's the Italian. It's very, very plentiful. I have my beautiful rose. This one's my favorite. Smells so good. And then I have 2 blueberry bushes, which is interesting. They're doing so well. The first year I planted them, they did not do well because they did not have any ground cover. But then I put this lemon balm on top of it. And the lemon balm provides shade for those roots, so those roots don't ever get hot. And these blueberry bushes have just taken off. So blueberry bushes love acidic soil. And they also like companion planting. So definitely, if you have a blueberry bush, plant something at the base of it to shade the roots and provide your blueberry bushes with what they need. You will thank me later. So then we have, this is the Greek oregano. And then I have here a rosemary bush, some daylilies, cilantro that's not doing very well. But if you go pan to the other side right here, you can see I have a poppy garden going out of control. I love these Chinese poppies. They're beautiful. The red is just really stands out. This is my Meyer lemon tree. Back here I have basil, I have dill, I have a ton of cilantro, more rosemary. I have garlic that's probably ready to come up. I have pineapple sage, and this pineapple sage bush is just gigantic at this point. I have to cut it back every year, and it just keeps getting bigger. And just directly in front of it, you can see my globe basil. That stuff's amazing. Please don't mind the weeds again. Like I said, I just haven't gotten to this garden bed. I have fennel coming up, which I'm ecstatic about. I love fennel. I love cooking with fennel. It's good for you. I have all kinds of beets in this garden. I have raspberries that I planted. They need a little bit more ground cover. I can tell they're not happy. And then this is another one of those, what I will call weed tomatoes. I did not plant that tomato. And then I also have basil that I didn't plant coming up. And I'm pretty sure this is a sage, more of that pineapple. Yeah, that's pineapple sage. So I've got little starts coming up. Back along this wall right here, I have asparagus. I have some garlic coming up. I have green beans, purple beans, white beans. I have another gooseberry bush. This is my jalapeno. I don't know if it's going to produce anything. This is year 3, so we'll see. And then this is a pepper plant, and we'll see if it produces peppers. Again, they're kind of getting small. I probably need to do some things about it. Anyway, here's my kohlrabi. Bill wanted this, so I planted this for him. So we have kohlrabi, we have turnips, and we have something else in here. I can't remember what parsnips, and then one other thing. There's a couple things in there that I planted. Look at this. Is my most successful asparagus bush. And I call it a bush, but let's see if we can find a good one. Oh, there's one right there. Look. There's asparagus, folks. You can pick that just like this. And I just cleaned my liver. It's awesome, and it tastes so good you don't even need to cook it, you guys. Then we have strawberries. Back along the wall I have peas. Snow peas don't do well here in the summer. So I'm gonna let those seed out, and then I'm gonna take those seed and plant them here in September so that I have a nice winter crop, because they're not growing well right now. I have some Gerber daisies. I have some more raspberry bushes. This one is my oldest raspberry. It will probably fruit the most this year. I have some lettuce and stuff down here. Oh, look at that strawberry. That one has my name on it. Strawberries from your backyard. You don't need to wash. I don't put any chemicals on my food at all. And I don't let my gardener use it either. That's good stuff. It really doesn't get better than that. So this is the newest garden. I planted this because I wanted to have a place for potatoes and onions. And then I have the peanuts. So I planted peanuts. You can actually see the shell is still on here. I didn't know you were supposed to remove the shell. I didn't, obviously. It doesn't really matter. It's not the end of the world because they did come up. So just so you know, you don't have to germinate these out. You could just plant those seeds right in the ground. And you have to use, obviously, raw, uncooked peanuts in order to get them. I heard that you can get those actually at Walmart and plant them in the ground, and they do grow. I ordered mine from Burpee because I wanted organic seeds. Kind of picky that way. But then I have all of these potatoes. I have red potatoes, I have purple potatoes, I have yellow potatoes. The only thing I didn't plant in my potato bed is russets. And then all the way around the edge, you can see the little green popping up. Those are onions. Half is yellow sweet onions and the other half are purple onions. And I planted them on the edge because they're supposed to keep pests out of your potatoes. It's a natural barrier for like root weevil and things like that. It will prevent those types of things from getting into your potatoes and causing all kinds of ruckus in your potatoes. Okay. Hi, handsome. Oh, handsome Jack, you're such a good kitty. Yes, you are. Yeah. Today is his adoption day. He became my kitty 1 year ago today. Huh, bud? Huh? He says, you saved my life. You saved my life. Okay. So, here in this garden, this is another one of my brand new garden beds. This didn't look like this even 4 months ago. I have 2 female honeyberry bushes. I have 1 male honeyberry bush. I have a kiwi planted along that back fence. I have blackberries and 2 kinds of raspberries planted in this garden bed. And I just finished the drip watering system so that I don't have to water anything, and it's very efficient. You can kind of see how that works. And now everything's really happy and growing and has doubled in size since it's got its new watering system. So here's my apricot tree. Oh, look, we've got one that's ripe. It's still a little firm, but my apricot preserves are fantastic. I literally use this fruit, 1 lemon, 4 cups of this fruit, 1/2 of a lemon, and 1 cup of sugar, and 2 teaspoons of pectin. And that's it. And then I throw it in the freezer. And people rave about my preserves, and all I do is use fruit, very low sugar. And I always use organic cane sugar when making my preserves. So we're getting ready to pick these here probably in the next week or so. They'll be ready. So that's pretty much the food situation. I do have some berry bushes and some trees that we didn't really discuss. You can kind of see right here, I have another apricot tree on the other side of that pool. There's a little miniature peach tree there, and then there's a very big pecan tree that's kind of taking up into where the palm trees are. And on the very far side of the pool, I have more blueberry bushes because I want them to kind of like cover the pool and shade it from the sun in the morning. So, yep, this is my garden. This is my home. This is where I grow my edible forest, and we love it here and spend lots of time. And someday I'll have a sustainable edible forest that I don't have to buy anything, anytime, anywhere. I get it all from my yard. In fact, my neighbors come over to do shopping. Louder.
Yeah.
My neighbors come over and do their herb shopping here. So that, and that's kind of what I want. I want my community, my neighbors to feel comfortable to come over and spend quality time here with their kids, and my family to do the same. I think that's why I garden, is to make it so that I have a place like home. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for going on a walk in my garden with me today.
That was